Hi, I'm Bob Vila. Welcome home again. I got a brand new remodeling project starting today, and we're on the West Coast. We're in Studio City, California, right in the heart of the greater Los Angeles area, a place that's really steeped in movie land tradition. Lots of wonderful little houses in this community, and behind me, you see an early one from the 1920s. And what makes it really special is the fact that it's a Sears catalog house in the Craftsman style. We'll be meeting with Michelle and Gavin Langley, the new homeowners, in just a couple of minutes, so stick around. It's good to have you home again.
Sears presents Bob Vila's Home Again.
We're in Los Angeles, California, land of sun and sand, glittering skyscrapers, freeway snarls, and all the glamour of Hollywood. Tinseltown has been outgrowing itself for most of this century, overflowing the Hollywood Hills into the San Fernando Valley. The first of the major movie lots, now CBS Studio Center, was built here in 1928 for Mack Sennett, creator of the Keystone Cops. Today, with a population of nearly 50,000, Studio City has grown up quickly around the giants that gave it its name. But while it's enjoyed life in the fast lane, it's managed to preserve some of its heritage. You know, a lot of folks think Beverly Hills mansions, Bel Air, great estates. But when I think about Studio City and Burbank and other sections of greater Los Angeles, the kinds of houses that come to mind are like this wonderful stucco, maybe 1930s version, and of course, lots of Craftsman style houses. And this is what we're talking here. Let's say hello to Michelle and Gavin Langley, the lucky new homeowners. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Hi, Bob.
Nice to meet you.
Absolutely.
Nice to meet you.
Now tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, I'm originally from Sydney, Australia,
Uh-huh.
and I came to Los Angeles in 1992 while I was traveling. And then that's where I met Michelle.
Okay.
And I was working in Scotland at the time, and then I've moved back here to be with Michelle, and we got married in 1995.
And you're a practicing architect, right?
Yes.
So did you study in Australia or in Scotland or all over the place?
I studied in Australia, and then I went and worked in Great Britain for 3 years, and now I'm working here in Los Angeles.
And Michelle, are you also in the industry kind of here?
I'm an actress and a dancer, and I have a ballet school.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Now tell me about your connection with this particular house.
Well, my mom lived here for 13 years. She rented,
Yeah.
and she loved this house. We
Yeah.
all did.
Yeah.
And she passed away, and we kept on renting it. And the owners had owned it for since the 30s.
Really?
And the man who owned it was the little boy that grew up in this house.
Sure.
And he passed away, and so his wife decided that she would sell it to us. We asked her.
You've just acquired it within the last year or so.
Yes.
Now let's talk a little bit about it, because it was purchased out of the Sears catalog, right?
Yes. It was actually built in 1923 from the Sears catalogue, and it was originally in Hollywood. And in 1929, they moved it from Hollywood because they were building the Hollywood freeway.
Oh, so it was in the path of the freeway
Right.
construction.
Right, one of the first freeways here in Los Angeles. And what we've managed to do is we've managed to find in the Sears catalogue of houses
Sure.
a representation of the house.
Yeah, there were many hundreds of different models, and of course you could pick not only the model and the style of the house on the exterior, but all the accessories from the bathroom fixtures to the
Oh, it was
electrical lights.
amazing. You can
Yeah.
upgrade it, you can, whatever you could afford, and they have it all listed. It's
Let's go
wonderful.
inside and take a close look at the condition that it's in now.
Great.
Right.
Come on in.
Now, do you know what the square footage of the house is?
Yes, it's 1,080 square feet.
It'd be fun to know how much it cost back in 1920. This is very nice, the whole open plan with a
it
great
beautiful?
fireplace, huh?
Yeah.
The brickwork is really great. The way there's a stretcher, and then there's the other bonding here, and it steps in and out. And then there's this corbel at the top.
Yeah.
It looks like a sort of tapestry of brickwork.
And this would have arrived loose bricks, sacks of mortar as part of the kit house.
Yes.
Now you've got your plans up here, huh? Why don't you take us through that quickly?
The top plan shows the existing house as it is, with the living spaces at the front, and then it moves through to the service areas, the kitchen and the bathroom and the laundry, and then the bedrooms were at the back.
Yes.
We're essentially keeping that fabric of the house, and then the new floor plan, we move through the house with the dining and the living room, the kitchen and bath again, but then we open the back of the house much more to the yard because there's such a big backyard.
Yeah, so that you'll have French doors out onto a deck. And what's this here?
This is a closet to match what the existing closet popped out into the yard.
Interesting, so it just bumps out. And then, of course, you're planning on a swimming pool, and, well, we'll look at that a little bit later. But that's a very good plan. And I like the design of the windows, 9/1. That's an unusual feature, isn't it?
Really nice, yes.
Yeah, yeah. But obviously, you've gotten started here. The ceiling looks like a brand new cathedral ceiling.
Yes, when we came in, they had, I think in the 50s, had a drop ceiling. It was made out of like a newspaper, pressed newspaper. And we took so many pictures when we came in here, and to see the before and then the after. When
You got your video camcorder out there, and you took some.
And when we took it down, this was here, and it's beautiful.
So the shape of it is essentially cathedral.
Yes.
Yes.
And you've run it through into the dining room, right?
Right.
This is a nice feature.
Yeah, very nice.
The bungalows of this period, the living and the dining space were always joined together. They considered them one room. So we continue the detail through. The ceiling in the living room matches in the ceiling in the dining room.
And then you've got a whole wall of built-ins. That's got to be original, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful cabinet.
China cupboards with glass doors. Yeah.
Exactly, and the original glass handles.
And probably the drawers for the good silver knife. Have you been stripping the paint off?
Yeah, Gavin and I have. We wanted to explore and see what was beneath it, and we're going to keep the natural wood. We really like the feeling of it warms up the house.
Sure, it's straight grain fir too.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful wood.
Yes.
What's this over here?
That's a built-in desk.
Yeah. You know, this is really early examples of modernism. It's just really neat to see, especially in a modest house like this.
Yes.
Now the kitchen's through here?
Yeah, come this way.
Butler's
These are
door,
great.
huh?
These doors.
Yeah.
I love them.
Pivot hinge, yeah, that's a nice thing to have. Now it's not a big kitchen, but a lot of apartment dwellers would kill for this much area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is the
Needs a
original
lot of work.
breakfast nook, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now, Sears used to make kitchen nook furniture for these eating areas.
Sure. You
So
would have
we
ordered that
wanted-
probably along with the house.
Yeah, we
Yes.
want to try to recreate this so that we have this, because you can't put a real table in here. It's just not enough room.
Something that can be
So
made in the workshop. Yeah.
So I really want to do that.
Yeah. Well, what are some of the features that are still here, though? I mean, clearly this must have been the place where the stove was placed.
Yes.
Because you've got a duct out there and you've got kind of a hood. What about the kitchen cabinets that are behind you?
What we found is that the plan of the kitchen was still its original plan, but they'd actually probably added cabinets to the kitchen.
Yeah, in 1920 they may have just had kitchen furniture, freestanding
Right.
cupboards and
This
storage.
is really my favorite. Look at this.
Oh yes,
Just-
sure. Original
that-
ironing board. Yeah.
And this is the greatest, the baby.
Yes, for the sleeves.
Yeah.
Are you going to keep this?
Oh, yeah.
Nice thing to have. Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
And over here there's a built-in pantry. And what they did is there's a hole in the floor to the underside of the house, and it naturally ventilates the food, because in those days they didn't have refrigerators.
They had ice boxes and the
Yeah.
Iceman came, right?
So the air passes up through from the under the house all the way through this open shelving to the attic space.
That's a fabulous detail.
It is.
And
Let's
look over
continue.
here. Yeah. There's a lot more coming up, so stick around. We'll be right back. And the bathroom is right across the hall. And boy, it's a spacious bathroom.
It's a nice
And it's
size one.
beautifully detailed. I mean, look at this mirrored cabinet, and you've been working in here,
Yes,
right?
Gavin and I, we've stripped this and we love it. We're
Nice
keeping
hinges.
it.
Yeah. But it's a spacious bathroom, and it's got details in it that, you know, on either side of the pedestal sink, you've got built-in vanity storage,
Yeah,
right?
his and hers.
His and hers. Very, very nice.
Yeah,
And then
nice.
you've got 2 bedrooms, right?
Yes, 2
Down the
bedrooms.
hallway.
Oh, look at this. More storage space, a nice closet.
Yes, for
Yeah.
your coats. And this is great, more storage.
Indeed.
So we have
the
some
built-in
nice-
linen press. This
Yes.
again, these are such modern ideas in
Yeah,
1920.
exactly.
When it's becoming really popular. And then in here, what size is the bedroom?
This is the main bedroom, and it's 12 by 12, but as you can see, it's being used as a contractor's office at the moment. We've got all
Yes.
our plans and that set up here.
Okay. And it's got, again, lovely windows, a triple window, and over here the same thing, right? A triple window and a double window. Now, what's the plan for these end walls?
We want to take the windows down and put new doors, new French doors out onto the porch in the backyard.
So that you'd be able to exit from the house from either bedroom any time of day onto your porch back there.
Exactly.
Fabulous.
Yeah. I have to teach a class. So, Gavin, why don't you take Bob around the back, show him the rest of our plans?
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds
Great.
good. Now, what's the size of the lot, Gavin?
It's 50 by 155.
Okay, and boy, you're maximizing the whole backyard here. The swimming pool excavation is pretty impressive.
It is.
Hi, how you doing?
Great. Bob, this is Courtney Lofton. He's the general contractor.
Nice to meet you. How are you? You've got your hands full right now, don't you?
It's a busy day today.
Concrete truck just arrived. Let's talk a little bit about the formwork here.
Well, actually, although this is just a porch, it's 12 foot 8 by 12 foot 8. We've got about just 10 yards of concrete just going into these footings. That's about 7 more yards than the house actually has.
You mean you're putting more concrete into the footing for this little porch than what exists for the whole house? Now,
Yes.
why are you overbuilding to that degree, or are you?
Well, actually, we are due to the stringent earthquake, the earthquake codes. After the Northridge earthquake, a lot of things have been doubled or even tripled.
Yeah.
With the steel columns.
Now, the steel columns will be encased in the concrete pour, and they, of course, form the basic support for the roof system that goes here.
Correct.
All right.
You know, one of the reasons for it is this will allow us to sleeve the old wood columns around this.
Right.
And there'll be no structural attachment visible.
Okay. And now we're pumping the concrete into the location, which of course saves a lot of time and money. What kind of mix is it?
This is a 6-sack pea gravel mix. It's got a 4-inch slump to it, which makes it a little dry. And that allows us to pack up the footing areas at grade level.
Okay.
So that'll actually help us, pour this whole thing within, half of an hour.
The city of Los Angeles requires bracing between a column and the base. And we wanted to reproduce the columns on the front of the house to match exactly.
Now, how do you brace them? Bracing between the columns and the footing, right?
Traditionally, they want bracing between the post and the beam.
I
and we
see.
didn't want to reproduce that because
Yes.
it's different to the detail
It
on the
would
front.
look differently, yeah.
So I had to come up with a steel column encased inside the middle of the wood column.
I see.
So it's hidden.
Okay.
ahead, let's
So
go
this,
ahead
of
and
course,
run that
gets
little-
dressed out with one bias to create the effect of the column.
The wood column manufactured just comes and slips over this
I see.
like a column over the top.
Then actually we'll field weld a cap that will house the support for the beam.
Sure.
And that'll be done after these columns are sleeved on.
Sure. Now, what's this formwork over here for?
Off the main porch, we want to make a barbecue area, an outdoor fireplace.
I see.
So there's going to be a fireplace, and then there's going to be an area for food, so that the main table will be here on the porch, and then this will be the area with the food and a fireplace to sit and to be able to, sit out at night time.
Excellent. And so even for just what's basically a pad, you have to have this kind of a footing.
This will be a monolithic pour.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then will there actually be a masonry barbecue, or are you just talking
Yes.
about? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, along this side of the house, from the plans, I know that you've got a closet coming out, right? Where exactly is that?
Yes, we're going to start it here, and it's going to come all the way along and pass through to here near the bathroom window.
And it comes out how many feet?
It's coming out 4 feet.
So what happens to these windows?
We're going to take those out, but these windows are very valuable in the glass because the old glass, we want to keep the window and reuse it for any other broken windows that ever happen in the house.
So that you'll be able to replace any broken glass with original glass. That's a good idea.
Right, because if we put in new glass into these windows, this is milky glass, whereas the lower glass with the being new would be clear.
Yeah.
So there'd be a big difference. You'd be able to tell the difference between the two.
It's a good idea. Now, the question I have about this bump out is, aren't you violating your setbacks here? This is the property line right here.
Correct.
How did you go about getting a permit for this?
Well, we file a variance.
Oh, you did
which-
have to go through a
Correct.
variance.
So we'll it creates a hearing with the church, and we just
Sure.
need their approval.
You've got
to
a
allow
church
us-
on the other side of here, so you have to go to the town to get a variance.
Correct.
Good. And the landscape, well, we've looked at what you're doing in the back, and the side is relatively bare. You've got a lot of trees that look like they're dead. What's the story?
Well, when Michelle's mother was living here, she liked it to be all overgrown and she liked to hold herself in the house. And she had the trees and all these nice vines, but as she got older, she couldn't take care of them, so they all overgrew. and so the backyard was completely overgrown.
And you've had to remove all of these vines that were growing all over the place.
Right.
Now, but what about the trees that are left? They all seem to be dead.
In California, it's winter time, and these are all deciduous trees, so the leaves have fallen off them. So back when it comes to the summertime, they're going to bloom again.
So you're going to have some fine specimen trees in
Yes.
the back. Great. We'll be back in a moment with a progress report. Stick around. Now we're going to spend a little bit of time on the roof of this house, and you'll notice we've already done the front side of the house. You can see the shiny copper drip edge and a new man-made slate product that we're using. Now, originally a bungalow like this, especially a catalog house like this, would have had a lightweight wooden shingled roof. And in California, as these wear out, you really can't replace them again because they're a fire hazard. It's allowed in some historic districts, but right here where we are, most houses get either a traditional asphalt or fiberglass shingle or something special like this. We still have a few houses like the one across the street that has a wooden shingled roof. But let's go around the back, climb back up there and hook up with Courtney so we can see how we install this product. Okay, well, Courtney, this hardy slate is a really attractive looking roof. From a distance, it looks like a true natural green slate, but it's a man-made product. What's in it, do you know?
It's Portland cement and 2/3 wood composition.
So I guess the Portland cement makes it fireproof. It does have a fire rating.
It does. It's a Class A fire-rated product.
I understand it's a little over $200 a square to buy the material. And of course, installed it would be more. What kind of an installation dilemma did you have here? What kind of condition was the previous roof?
Which one?
Oh, you mean there were several roofs on top? How many layers did you have?
Actually, there were 4. There was an old wood shake roof.
Yeah.
And then there were 3 asphalt composition roofs. So it made for a load on the
What kind of a
existing-
structure was holding up that load? It must have been really sagging.
Very. It was sagging actually about 7.5 inches from north
Really?
to south.
Is that right? What kind of sheathing was on the house? The original 1920s split open sheathing?
Split open sheathing.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how are you installing it? Because the felt, I'm used to seeing 30-pound or 15-pound felt in a double coverage, and here you seem to have just 8 or 10 inches to the weather. What kind of felt is this?
Well, this is 30-pound asphalt felt.
And it's just 18-inch rolls then.
18-inch rolls.
I see.
They get lapped as we move up to the second course about 10 inches. And that allows for more watershed.
And so you've put down a starter course, which is just the same material in 3-foot lengths. And of course, the starter course builds up the edge of the roof. It sheds water better, and it makes for a sturdier application. You keep wanting to bend that nail. But you can nail right through the stuff. You don't have to pre-drill it or anything.
Not at all.
Can you walk on this roof?
Yes, it's very walkable.
Yeah. Where's the product made?
Australia.
And it's called Hardy Slate.
Yeah. Actually, Hardy Shake, and this slate is a product from that shake company.
I see. And so they're all uniform size. It's not like using wooden shingles that come in all sorts of different widths. And so this guarantees that you're staggering your joint and you're getting good protection with this kind of installation.
We line up each one of the courses.
Now, my question is, if you haven't finished the frame for the porch back here, which obviously has the same kind of roof, why are you doing all this roofing now?
We're trying to beat the rain. This is actually a very good day. So we took advantage
We've got
of it.
perfect weather today, yeah, but you've had a lot of rain lately, right?
Yeah, we have. And our goal was to dry it in. Now we have this new porch addition going on, and I have to stay back far enough to tie my plywood into it.
All right, well, it's going to be a beauty. We'll be back in a moment with a preview of our next show. Well, it's a perfect little California bungalow. We're out of time. Come home again next time. We're going to be doing some rough plumbing, some rough wiring, some special plaster repairs, and the homeowners will discuss the budget. Till then, I'm Bob Vila. It's good to have you home again. Check out these great new resources for more information on your project. Or for more information on today's show, visit my website at bobvila.com.